Laura Primo is originally from New England, so naturally she was a Dunkin' regular. But recently,
I can't touch any dairy with a 10-foot pole.
She loves her coffee with coconut milk now. But when she realized Dunkin' was charging extra for it, she felt milked for money.
It just kind of upset me. My favorite coffee is messing with me.
That's why she and 9 other Dunkin' customers filed a class action lawsuit against the company last month, asking for at least $5 million in damages. The suit comes after a slew of other food class actions, those focused on misleading advertising against companies like Hershey and Kraft. Some have called those lawsuits frivolous, and they've seen limited success in court. But this suit says Dunkin' is discriminating against people with lactose intolerance or milk allergies, alleging violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
They're making a significant profit off of these customers, their customers, because of their disabilities.
Because of the law, public entities have to make reasonable modifications for people with disabilities. At first glance, lactose intolerance or milk allergies may not seem like a disability, but in 2008, Congress broadened the law, which one expert thinks now covers those types of conditions.
People who have chronic conditions, lactose intolerance or food allergies, if they are substantially limiting their ability to eat and to function day to day, then they're considered disabilities under the Act.
Companies do have a way out if they can prove making those changes would fundamentally alter the nature of their business or impose an undue burden. Dunkin' acknowledged the suit and has until March to respond. It did not reply to our request for comment.
They offer sweeteners that aren't sugar. They offer decaffeinated coffee, not only caffeine coffee. To single out the non-dairy alternative is discriminatory.
The same law firm behind the Dunkin' lawsuit also filed a separate but similar class action suit against Starbucks in 2022. Starbucks filed a motion to dismiss that is still pending. Starbucks arguing that the lawsuit moving forward would have far-reaching consequences and would force retailers to choose between no longer offering more expensive items, losing substantial revenue, or raising prices across the board.
Vicki is joining us now. It's super interesting to hear about all these pieces of it, Vicki. And you mentioned there's been a whole bunch of food-related lawsuits that have happened recently that have had limited success. Obviously, this is different, but help us understand the bigger picture here of customers, of consumers sort of standing up and trying to come after some companies for the way that they sell their products.
Here, listen, Hallie, let's refresh your viewers' memories about a couple of the lawsuits. A woman in Florida sued Kraft, the maker of the Kraft macaroni and cheese, saying that it was misleading advertising, that it takes a lot longer than the 3.5 minutes that's labeled on the cup to make that instant mac and cheese, that they didn't account for the time to take the lid off or to pour the water in or to stir in the cheese sauce. That lawsuit tossed. The Hershey's lawsuit. You remember this one? It was filed at the end of last year. A woman said, you know those little jack-o'-lanterns and the footballs and the bats? Well, on the picture, they're advertised as having cute little faces, but you open that thing, the football looks like an egg. There is no jack-o'-lantern face. That is still making its way through the courts. This lawsuit is different. We're talking about the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was put into place to be enforced via a lawsuit. There is no mechanism to enforce the ADA other than people suing. And so the hope here is that by saying that folks who have lactose intolerance, a real medical condition, right? If you can change the laws for these folks under the ADA, then hopefully it has broader implications for everyone. So these lawsuits are a little bit different than the others we've seen.
Important point. Vicki, thank you very much. Keep following this one for us. We'll be interested to see how it turns out. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.